everybody. Today I wanted to go over the diet break that I took over the past 2 weeks and let you know what I thought of it. If you're interested, please keep watching. Okay, so if you saw my last video, I have been doing a cut, as they call it, trying to lose weight by taking Contrave after my vertical sleeve gastrectomy. I was kind of stalled and I went up in weight during the pandemic, so I've been trying to get that off. And what I've been doing is I've been taking Contrave and I've gotten pretty far, but I was starting to feel a little burnt out, like I should take a break. So a diet break is 7 days and beyond, where maybe you have a vacation coming up or a special occasion, or you just feel like you're getting burnt out and you take a break and you go up to your maintenance calories again. So my diet calories was 1,450 and I originally set it at 1,300 and I could not do it. Sorry, I gotta adjust this. And it was just making me crazy. So I set it to 1,450. And as long as that keeps working, that's what I'm going to stay at. If I start to not move, then I'll lower it if I can. I don't know how people do 1,200 calories. I don't. So anyway, so I raised my calories up to 1,650 every day for the diet break. And it was interesting. I thought of all the things that I would want to have that I'm always feeling like, oh, you can't have that, you know, during my diet. And one of the things was a croissant. I really wanted a croissant. Last year, my husband and I, not 2020, 2019, that doesn't even count that year. We went on vacation to Cancun and they had like a Starbucks type of cafe there. It was like an all-inclusive and they had all these pastries. And I still had VSG back then, but I just had a thing for croissants and it was so good, like crispy and flaky and amazing. And that's what I wanted. So the one day I went to Panera, they don't have any, they're sold out. So then I go to the corner bakery and they have one. But when I ate it, it wasn't as good as the one in Cancun. It was okay, but it wasn't what I'd pictured in my mind. Other things that I had were some ice cream. And again, it was the same thing. I wanted like vanilla bean Breyers ice cream, but I did Giant Direct and they gave me like home style or natural something. And it tasted more like a French vanilla and it didn't do it for me. So I had like one bowl one night and then my kids had vanilla fudge swirl, so I had that instead, like a couple other nights. And then I just was like, okay, I don't need to do that again. Like, I don't need to have ice cream every single night. What are the other things that I had? Let me look if I wrote them down. Oh, yeah. Okay. So there was this Italian cookie that my husband's work during the pandemic, they sent us this, it's called Yum Yum box. I think that's what it's called. It's a box of treats from different countries and they send it to you once a month, like a subscription box. That's a giant bird. Okay. I'm like, whoa, it just like came out right over my window. And yeah, so they sent me this subscription box and Italy, of course, my favorite, was the best one. It was so good. Like all the different things. They had like a tiramisu truffle that my husband loved, and they had a chocolate filled with Pop Rocks that my kids loved, and then they had Italian, they called them amarettini because they were little cookies, and they were kind of like crispy, like a meringue, and then you just had the almond taste at the end. It was so good. And I ate this little tiny bag and I ate it like I didn't share any of it. And I was thinking about that. So I ordered it off of Amazon, not exactly the same brand, but a different brand. And when I got them, it was a pack of 3. The bags were like this big. And I'm like, oh no, oh no. So the serving size was like 8 cookies. So I had that. and then they were so good. Like, I really wanted more, and I was like, as soon as this bag is done, this is it. I'm not opening another bag until like my birthday or something like that, that I can put it out and share it with other people, because that was definitely a slider food and it was fantastic. So that was probably the best thing I had the whole time on my diet break. So I did a couple treats like that, and then I was kind of like, I don't really need to do anything else, and I really want to make my goal weight by my 2nd year anniversary, which is May 17th. So I didn't want to, like, honestly, I didn't want to go on to a second week. But here's what happened. I tried to go back to my normal calories, and I did that for like 2 days. And then we were having our new windows put in, and we had to move to a hotel for a few days. I brought a ton of stuff, but it was like more prepared food. You're right by the kitchen the whole day, and there was a lot of snacking, and I wasn't consistently able to stay at 1450. So I just decided until we went home, I was going to stay in the maintenance range. So I kind of wound up just staying another to the 2nd week for the diet break. And my weight stayed pretty steady the whole time. It was like 165.4 when I started, and then it went up to 165.7. It did go to 166.1 at one point, but I was thinking more carbs, it's gonna go up in water weight, and it went back down again. So it's still in the mid 165s. I only hit 165 like for a second a few weeks ago. But I did want to get back to exercising. I had turned that down a little bit. I did like 20 minutes instead of 30 minutes of cardio, and I just dialed it back a little bit. And it was good having a break, but it's also hard getting back in the swing of your diet. So I would say, unless you're really burnt out, you don't want to do a diet break, because it's really hard to get back in. And also, you may have a lot of foods that are slider foods to you, and then you can't turn that off. Then you just crave them and crave the sugar. And I was luckily able to turn it down a little bit, and I'm getting back into the swing of it, but it's definitely hard to get back in. So, if you have a wedding coming up or a vacation or something like that, it definitely makes sense for you to track and keep track of your maintenance calories. So you're not just eating whatever and eating 3,000 calories a day, but you are adding a little bit in each day. And it worked out pretty well. So one of the challenges with the diet break is, because I had VSG, I really couldn't eat large quantities of food. So I might have wanted to go to a Mexican restaurant or do takeout from there, but I couldn't eat rice. I mean, I had a little bit of rice one night that I mixed into my stir fry, but it was maybe like a quarter of a cup. And then it like sat right in my chest, like right here. And I could feel it like a lump. So it's not quite fun to eat that kind of stuff. And you can't really eat the large quantity that you used to. And you shouldn't. That's the whole idea of the surgery, so that you don't do that. So those are my thoughts on the diet break. Now, if you really don't want to go into a whole week, but you feel like you need a little treat now and then, you could do Refeed Days. So the way that works is that your calories each day you aim for, like I'm aiming for 1450. Well, say you wanted to eat more on the weekends, you might up that to 1600 or 1700, and then calculate it to eat less during the week. So maybe you eat 1300 during the week, and then you eat more on the weekend. And it's the total of the 7-day average that you need, not necessarily every single day having to be at that exact number. Now, I find that hard because, like I said, I had a hard time getting below 1400 calories and not snacking and not eating extra and not like really feeling deprived. So for me, unless I really knew something was coming up, I wouldn't do a refeed. But it's supposed to help your metabolism kind of stay guessing of what it's doing. So it might work for you. So that's about it for this week. Thank you so much for watching. And if you have any questions about the diet break, please put them below in the comments. Now, if you're interested in learning about what was going on that made me take a diet break, I will put my last video down below for you to reference, or right here on the screen. So I will talk to you next week, and I hope you're having a good one. Bye.